each individual will have 1 minute for a close. And before they start, what an amazing group of candidates we have. So we started with Jeff before. Let's start with Brad this time.
1 minute, right?
1 minute.
1 minute.
Well, I think you guys get the idea here that I'm for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I'm also a strong defender of our Constitution as our founding fathers intended. I'm here to go back to Washington to represent each one of you in this wonderful district that I've called home my entire life. I am here to go back to Washington and fight for our Constitution the way it was intended. That's my commitment to you. That's my commitment to this district. And I want to thank each one of you. You are the true patriots here for being here today to investigate a better way for this district in the future. Thank you.
I have 4 really important reasons for caring what happens in Congress. Their names are Madison, Jonas, Ariel, and Benjamin. They are 14, 12, 10, and 8 years old, and my kids. Elaine and I have taught them to work before they play, to save before they spend, and they do. They are thrifty, they're resourceful, they're hardworking, they're really disciplined. And yet it doesn't matter. They're going to graduate deeply, deeply in debt anyway. Take the national debt as it exists now, divide it equally among every man, woman, and child in the country, and the tab comes to $40,000 apiece. That's sobering enough, but that number is scheduled to more than double in less than 10 years. And that has human consequences. When my little 10-year-old Ariel graduates from college, her share of the national debt is going to be over $80,000. Those of us who work in business understand that there is no such thing as an unpaid debt. If we won't pay the principal, our kids will be paying the interest in perpetuity. And indeed, little Ariel can expect to spend over $200,000 just as her share of interest on the national debt over her working life. That's wrong. I'm running for Congress to change it.
I think it's time to take back our country, and that's why I'm running for office. I, too, share some of the thoughts that Mr. Harmer said here. I have 13 grandchildren, and I have 4 daughters, and they are going to suffer the tax consequences of what's in front of us today. When I came here to ask for your vote, I was a brand new person, so you have never been addressed your group before. When you think about who would represent you best, you have to first take that first litmus test and say, okay, who's qualified, who can stand up for us, and who can represent us best. But it does no good to win a battle and lose a war. You have to pick someone that will beat McNerney. You look at the demographics of the district, you look at the independents, and then you say, you know what, we have a winner. I truly believe I am that winner for this district. I am not here to represent San Joaquin County, Lodi, Contra Costa, Alameda, or any county. I'm here to represent everybody. I'm here to represent American citizens. Thank you.
I'm going to talk about Scott Brown's election again, because what the Scott Brown election showed us is the right candidate can win in any district in the 435 districts across the country. We need to take, and I agree, it's not enough to win the primary. We need to look forward to the general. Look at your candidates, imagine them up against Mr. McNerney. Who can appeal to independents, and who will be able to represent the entire district, the 2 very different sides of this district. I believe I'm that person. I bring experience, but not a long history of political campaigns and trials. I bring a fresh perspective, and I believe I can offer everyone in this district what the future looks like for the Republican Party. Strong conservatism, unashamed conservatism. I really am so excited about the youth, the women, everyone who I've talked to who is ready to stand up and not be quiet any longer. I am Elizabeth Emken, and I look forward to representing all of us in Washington. I promise you I will never forget the basic character traits of integrity, generosity, and humility as I move forward. I will remind myself every Monday morning in my congressional office that those are the traits that are required. Oh, I'm sorry. I ask for your support. I'm going to be here afterwards. Please come say hi. I would love to meet all of you.
Thank you again, Senator Founding Republican Women, and thank you again, Judy, for setting this all up. I'm not one to ramble on. I believe that we need to talk less and do more. Anybody that truly knows me knows that I'm a doer, not a talker. Just like you, I'm tired of all these empty promises and false hopes that so many politicians, and for that matter, candidates give us. You should decide your support not based on the number of endorsements or flowery speeches, but on the values and the skill sets possessed by each one of us candidates. I'm Robert Beadles, your candidate for Congress, and I'm asking for your support and for your vote. I don't have a hidden agenda or motive. I know that I'm a bit rough around the edges. I know I don't sound like a politician. That's because I'm not one. I'm a job creator, not a bureaucracy creator. All I want is what's best for us and for our country. Thank you all for coming, and God bless you and your families, our troops, and God bless America.
I want to thank you guys all for coming out today. It's really, truly great to meet all the people that I'm hoping to be able to represent when I go up to Capitol Hill and with a whole bunch of other Republicans, at least 40, maybe all 453, if we can pull it off. I think that I'm glad that I was able to make you guys laugh a little bit today, because if you don't laugh looking at the country, the only other emotion you could possibly express is crying. So there we go. That's good. You're laughing. Thank you. When my wife first came to the United States, it was as an exchange student in the 1980s, and she loved this country. She loved the way that the people interacted, the way that the system worked, the way how happy everybody was. And when she immigrated here after we married, she said, something changed about the country. Something's different. Something's darker. It's not. It doesn't seem that it's flowing in the right direction. It's like a river flowing backwards. What is that all about? She said. And I've noticed the same thing. That's why I call myself a conservative. I want to conserve the way that the country was when I was growing up, when my father was growing up, when my grandfather was growing up. So with that in mind, I encourage you to look at the candidates, decide who's the best to represent you, and go out there and vote in June and November. Thank you.
Well, that's the end of our forum, and it's clear we're going to have two more for all the questions that didn't get answered. So maybe you would all consider coming back sometime. That would be great. I just want to express my personal thanks to all of you. Running in a target district is a tough task. If you haven't run in a targeted district before,